Good day. Good day, and welcome to another What's Up Wednesday. Another week has gone by. Our big topic tonight, viewer question, is Good Sam, the RV Club, a good deal or not? We're going to discuss that. I'm actually a member. You might be surprised what I have to say, but that's our viewer question of the night. That's our big topic. Boy, have we got a big show for you tonight, and we are coming at you from... Well, it's another What's Up Wednesday. Episode 34. 34 continuous weeks of putting on this program. It's a whole new way to roll, and I'm just loving how the traction of this audience is really gaining speed. New folks every week, and familiar friends, audience friends in here. Let me show a few of those folks because they've been good enough to say hi. Slim's he's excited to be a part of this show tonight because he's kind of shopping for, is Good Sam a good deal or not? So Traveling Slim, thank you for showing up tonight. Christopher, thank you for showing up. Christopher, you got this. Those emojis always trick me up. I'm wondering if this is the Chris, so hold on to yourselves there. Here's Shirley. Thanks as always, coming in from Florida. That's amazing. And Ron, upstate New York. RW, can't wait to get up there next year, hopefully. And, oh, he's from the gym, coming from the gym. Good man. It's where I need to get more of. And holy cow, yeah. Here's Jane and Roger from Illinois. Love you both. And the name of your van is Atlantis? Oh God, I get it wrong every time. It's the white one. They love their space nuts too. Hey, we got a big show for you tonight. Let me show you what's going on. I'm coming at you live from Albuquerque, New Mexico, which has a really nice airport code, ABQ, because trying to spell Albuquerque, thank God for spell check. After about the third time, it figured it out for me what I was trying to say. I'm coming at you just a few miles from Route 66, and let me tell you, I have arrived, and I got to drive that magic highway where it sings the song as you drive over the road. I actually captured the video, so wait until you see that. That's pretty amazing. I'm super curious where in the world you're watching from. This show is seen literally across the planet Earth, which is pretty amazing. Last week we got Chris, can't read, my allergies are still killing me. UK, United Kingdom, Manchester. Don't they have a famous football team? That'd be soccer for you Americans. And this is the Chris I was alluding to earlier. And I was at the National Petroglyph historic site today, and I was actually working on this show and didn't really get to go see the petroglyphs because I was working on the show. This young guy rolled up here. That's his bike in the back of his truck. So Chris, if you're watching tonight, dude, thank you very much for rolling up, being bold, saying hi. And here's the big deal about Chris. He's just got back from Afghanistan. He helped evacuate the Bagram base there. He's on a little R&R right now, and I'm going to get choked up talking about this. It happens every time. I apologize. But a young man in the service, I can't remember which branch, he's going back to Korea, South Korea, to do another tour, and then he's hoping to kind of cash out and do van life. So dude, hit me up if you're watching tonight, and I would love to give you some tips and get you pointed off on a trajectory. Will change your life, much like I'm sure the military has. So again, hats off to all of our military men and women. Please, a moment of silence for them. They've done a Herculean job. Herculean job saving countless folks over there, airlifting over 100,000 people in just a few weeks. Amazing. So Chris, thanks for watching, man. And big show tonight, even though it's just little old me. Tonight we do not have Winnebago. I had to reschedule him for next week. So next week we have our Winnebago rep, Matt, is going to join us. The question of the week comes from Ken about the Good Sam. We talked about that already. Upcoming channel events this Friday. If you're in the Albuquerque area, we're going to meet at the Route 66 Casino. There's a couple of you signed up for that, so thank you for that. Check my website often because that's the best way to find those events. They come up really spontaneously or short term because of just my route plan. I apologize. I wish I can get more organized. But speaking of, oh my gosh, ladies and gentlemen, you have got to do a van experience at a drive-in. So this is one of our channel meetups. Nobody else signed up. It was in Santa Fe, kind of hard to get to. But what you're looking at is the van perpendicular to the screen. Is that right? Is that how you say that? So I slid the patio door open, and it was the most amazing experience I've probably had in my van in the last 6 months. It was truly out of this world. Let me zoom in here so you can see it. You don't need to look at me to see this. I want you to see this. And it was $20. a carload, and I need to hit and just to zoom in there. And what was really great is the that's the view from inside the van. So I had my mood lighting going, and what was really awesome is that the sound came through an FM radio. My Jensen right here. Where's the camera? Oh my God, right there. The Jensen right above me was the sound system. So I laid down, my head was against here with my pillow, and I watched Paw Patrol, a movie I'm pretty sure I would never see if it wasn't in for this historic drive-in, the only operating drive-in in the state of New Mexico, and literally on Route 66. I couldn't believe it. I had to pinch myself. And it was just out of the world experience. And we have got to do this again somehow. This would be a great van meetup. Look at that. Can you imagine with your van? Look at this. What if we got like 5 or 6 vans lined up, parallel, perpendicular? I'm not sure what that word is. Watching the thing, all kind of giggling back and forth. Maybe we could share some mimosas or something. I don't know, Bloody Marys. They even had campfires around this in this area. So, man, what an awesome experience. So, hey, if you think you want to do that, give the show a thumb up, because that was over the top. The point being is join us for those channel meetups. Go small, live large. We're seriously on the move. We've talked about that. This is a recent video. This was a tour of the Beyond that Nick, the GM at Coachman, gave us. Really doing well, and it's a really compelling van in my book. So if you haven't seen that, you'll want to see that. And as I mentioned, upcoming next week, September 8th, is Winnebago. He's been good enough to reschedule for me. And then September 22, some new newish van owners are coming in, Roy and Debbie. And I have a special announcement probably next week about a new van owner that's an embassy van owner. She's agreed to be a guest on What's Up Wednesday. So we're trying to get her scheduled for October. So this is like how we like to roll. My second screen's off camera here just a little bit, so I apologize if it's distracting. So this is all about your questions. YouTube live Q&A. I'm taking your questions. At the quarter after the hour, we're going to address the Good Sam. So if you're here for that specifically because of the topic and the thumbnail, stay tuned. You got 7 minutes. We're going to bring that up right away. So with that, let me kind of look at some of the questions we got coming in and some of the folks. And I love how you all chat amongst yourselves. It's so awesome. Here's Kathy D from the Central Coast. Yeah, I'm about ready to hit California. Probably be there the second week in September, ending Route 66. That'll be a 2-month journey, ladies and gentlemen, doing Route 66. That's pretty crazy. Here's Sherry, another woo from Wisconsin, so that's awesome. Thank you for joining us. Here's Flagler Beach. That's awesome. Thank you for joining us. Chris and Sandy. Mosquito Lake SP in northeastern Ohio. Are there a lot of mosquitoes there? Hence the name. Oh my gosh. Remind me not to visit that place. Simi Valley. That's an awesome place. Isn't that where the President Reagan Presidential Library is? One of the best presidential libraries I've been to yet. The actual, was it the 7th, whatever the big plane he flew on, that was the last one before they went to 747. And that's actually in this library. It's amazing. Super moving experience. Okay, so I'm looking for some questions. The question format we'd like to use is this, because it helps me find those questions more readily. It's 3 asterisks by 3 question marks, famed by Kevin Martin, 30 to Wake Up. If you haven't seen his channel lately, he's holed up in an Airbnb condo high-rise in Thailand. I saw a little bit of his show last night. He is truly a world traveler out of a backpack. It's just not a way I would run a roll. I don't know. So here's some questions coming in. So this is a good question right here. So Saya wants to know, Scott, are you planning to go to the Hershey RV show? It should be the largest this year. I'm just surprised that there is one. Short answer, no, I'm not planning to be in Hershey because I think it starts like in a week or two, and I'm clearly going to be on the opposite end of the country. It's probably the only other RV show that's happened this year besides the Tampa show in January, which we did attend. Got a lot of content, did a lot of van tours, but no, I will not be at the Hershey show. My understanding is that there's in Flagstaff kind of an adventure van show in the next few weeks. I might be able to time that just right, but no, I will not be going to Hershey. I could fly in, but it's just not the same. And I got some special things coming up with you guys for some van tours. We've had a little bit of a breakthrough lately, and I think you'll see more RV shows next year. The problem is there's just so little inventory. What's the point of kind of rolling a bunch of inventory and spending gazillions of dollars and taking a bunch of orders that you can't fill for 6-12 months out? So I think things will normalize, but no, I will not be at Hershey. Traveling Robert will be at Hershey. I heard that on his last YouTube live. So great question. I would love to go. I need to kind of organize myself so I am more in place versus opposite ends of the country for the RV shows. Timothy. Yes, Timothy Miller. The Sandia Peak Tramway is a must-do in ABQ. ABQ is the airport code for Albuquerque because it's kind of easier to say, certainly easier to spell. Good news, Timothy. I have a ticket for tomorrow, 9 a.m., and I'm going to go, and I'm going to take you with me. You'll see that coming up, and I'm just taking you, the audience, all my audience friends, with me on more of these places. And Route 66 was a start. I'm a little behind on that. You'll see some more stuff coming out, but yes, I'm going tomorrow. Can't wait. I'm a little scared of heights, so I hear there's a bar at the top, so that's my goal. Get to the top at 9 a.m. and have a Bloody Mary to relax. So thank you for that tip. And it wasn't really well called out in a lot of the material that I was studying for Albuquerque. I was kind of shocked. Everybody thinks Albuquerque and balloons, but man, there's a lot to do around here, let me tell you. Vandemic, it was over the top. We've got to do this. We've got to get organized. We've got to do it together. They got to be harvest host sites. I'm going to call those folks up and have a chat with them. It was a really nice, I'm guessing, Mexican Latino family. And there was probably me and 20 other cars, maybe. It was on a Friday night. And 20 times 20, do the math, $400 plus some concession stands, probably another $400. So, an $800 night for them. The property taxes have got to be. I hope this is where governments give places like this a break, because historical nature, the last one, blah blah blah. But we've got to get our act together and do this together, because it would be so amazing to have 10 vans, sliders open, watching the movie, running back and forth, giggling like a bunch of teenagers. It'd be so cool. It'd be so cool. Glad you like the how we doing on time? So looking for a question. Glad you like the video. Thank you. Live Work Live, Colorado in the house, Philadelphia. Hey Deborah, thanks for being in the house. Appreciate that. And wow, you guys are really chiming in tonight. Really appreciate that. Phoenix Mesa, Arizona. I'm going to pass through on Flagstaff. Never been to Flagstaff before, so I'm super excited. And I can't tell you what a joy it is in Albuquerque here to have a break from the heat. It's been 90 to 100 degrees every place I've been for the last month, 5 weeks really. And sorry for my eyes. And it's actually going to rain. It's raining right now. This is why I love my awning style windows, boys and girls. You see that thing right there? Man, this camera is... It's raining gently, no breeze, window open, fan on, pulling in those gentle desert rain fragrances. It's just so nice to have a break from the heat, was my point. Portland. We're going to be rolling through Portland here shortly. Let's see. So Anthony here has a good question. I'll be in Florida late December to late January. Any chance for a meetup there? I'd love to pick your brain about van life. Anthony, my middle name, by the way, Scott Anthony Watson. So I always have a soft spot for anything Anthony or Saint Anthony. Growing up Catholic, Saint Anthony is my patron saint, I guess. And apparently, I didn't know this, San Antonio is Saint Anthony in Spanish. Answer your question, yes. We always do a couple of meetups while I'm in Florida home base. So stay tuned for that. Yes is absolutely the word. Tennessee, love Tennessee. Looking for questions, folks. Roll those questions in. RV systems, travel. Use the 3 question marks. That really helps me find this. Your question. So yeah, your question here. Deborah Sue Tarot Show. Any advice for the first time RVer? That takes about 2 weeks to answer that question. Yes. Look, my question would be, in all seriousness, have you purchased an RV or are you looking to buy an RV? Those are two very different ways to answer that question. We've talked about this quite a bit on this channel. My advice is, if you're looking to buy an RV, identify why you want an RV first, which then dictates how an RV system enables your why, which then dictates what RV, and more importantly floor plan, will fill your desires for the why. If you already have your RV, holy cow, watch a lot of YouTube, watch this channel. There's a bunch of channels out there. Keep Your Daydream is a great one. They have a variety of rigs. The Russos, we're the Russos. Story Chasing, Creativity RV. There's a bunch of them out there. Who's in a Travato anymore? Chad and Paul are in a Storyteller. Not too many Travato folks anymore, right? Just little old me. I guess so watch those. And I would get familiar with the systems. I would not roll out into a multi-week trip. I would camp in my driveway and practice RVing in the comfort of your driveway. Running all the systems, connecting to shore power, disconnecting from shore power, running the generator if you don't have a lithium-equipped coach. Cook, eat, sleep, go potty, the whole 9 yards in your driveway. And then if there's an RV park or a campground within an hour of the safety zone of your house, then I would practice there again. Don't do the mistake I do, and then a lot of people do, is load up your van, your RV full of stuff, thinking you're gonna need all this. It's a house. It's not a house. It's an RV. So less is more in an RV. And I actually have empty cabinets now. It's pretty amazing. So those would be some points. Of course, I got a lot of videos and again, a lot of YouTube channels on that. Go visit a dealer. Make friends with a dealer in your area. And if they're just trying to sell you a rig that day or that week or that month, and the closer to the end of the month, the more that becomes a process. I would tell them to kind of give you some space, but I would spend some time in RVs. I'd shop a dealer and a salesperson and a service person as hard as I shop for a rig itself. Great question. All right, so let's talk about the topic of the big topic of the night, and this is good SAM a good buy or a good deal? So, and this is based on my personal experience, which I will admit is limited, but just this, and this is why I love you. I love the audience friends. I love each and every one of you because you drive me to do things I wouldn't normally do, which is check out Good SAM more clearly, because the audience question from Ken is, hey, is it a good deal? I bought it because it's a discount club. You know, you get 10% off at Camping World. You get 10% off at Good SAM member campgrounds. And so that alone to me is kind of worth it. It kind of pays for itself. But what I did is I did some more homework in preparation for the show. And guess what? I am way underutilizing the benefits of a Good SAM RV club membership. It's way beyond just discounts. So let me show you some of this. And you decide whether you like it or not. I'll zoom in so you can see this. So first of all, it's not overly expensive. It's $30 a year. $55 for 2 years, or $80 for 3 years. Now, I will put a caveat in here. Every time you walk into a Camping World to buy something, they hit you up for the membership. And I guess that's okay, but it's just, you know, look me up before you ask me. And they always want to try and renew you. I get it, but, you know, don't try and sell me every time my nose goes in the door. Anyway, so some real interesting benefits right off the gate. Camping discounts, we talked about that. Retail discounts from Camping World. And Gander RV, which are kind of tied together. Fuel savings, I was not overly aware of that. From Select, being the keyword, Pilot, Flying J and Pilot truck stops, and then a trip planner. I was not aware of that. So some of that is new information to me. The way I look at a discount club is if it costs me, you know, $80 for 3 years, divided by the years, and am I going to generate enough savings to at least pay for it? Then that's probably a decent deal. And that's how I kind of roll with that. So let me show you the next page, though. This is where things get really exciting. And this is basically all new information to me. I know it's a bit of an eye chart. This is from their website. You can go check them out. So the one I really want to key in here is we know about the camping discount. And the way that is if you roll into a non-KOA RV park, like I stayed at one, the Big Texan RV park in Amarillo just a few days ago, Good SAM Association, I get 10% off every night I stayed there. And it was kind of expensive, it was like 45 or 50 bucks. I was there for quite a few nights. So that adds up really fast. So if I spent 80 bucks for the membership, I paid for it for one stay really at that RV park, which I had to stay there and plug in because the heat was so extreme. We continue on. Some Good SAM perks, you can see that. Online trip planning, I was not aware of that at all. I might have to look into that. Good SAM show discounts. These are... you can see what that's about is on RV shows, essentially. The one that really got me was the magazine subscription, the VIP assistance on roadside assistance. That's interesting. And the Good Sam mail service. That could be interesting if you are looking to full-time and not have a domicile that's a physical house. And the one that I was kind of interested too is the extended service plan. So it went well beyond just a retail and a camping discount. And I'm going to check out some of those other things like the online trip planning. That might be kind of interesting because I spent a lot of time trip planning because of my Volta duties, going cool places. Route 66 has been off the charts of route planning. So if I can turn that duty over to somebody else, essentially, maybe make friends with them, maybe there's some online chat and say, hey, I want to go from here to here, this time frame. What's the route? Give me highway, non-highway, and what are 4 or 5 things in this categories that I really should see. That would be a really cool service and a really huge time saver for me. But wait, there's more. And that was just the Good Sam. Look at this is the Camping World stuff. Now people love to hate Camping World. I've never bought an RV from them. I don't know. I buy a fair amount of goods from them because they're kind of everywhere. I get my discount, which they're showing here, free shipping to a store. That's pretty cool because they're pretty everywhere. How about a propane discount? That's pretty cool. Service discount if you need service. That's pretty cool. Extended return policy. You know, if you're really not sure if something's going to work out, that's nice to have, especially if it's kind of an expensive item. That's pretty cool, right? Product protection, campground guide. This next one, I really did not know this, and I will be taking advantage of this. Free dump station at select camping worlds, and most of them have some degree of dump station because they have service bays, right? So most of the time, a dump station costs you anywhere from $10 to $20. So that alone is like worth it to me, right? And then the last one, the annual multi-point RV inspection. Who doesn't like that? They're going to tell you all the things that you need to get fixed by them in a time manner. But at least somebody's looked at it, so maybe it short circuits a problem, like my roof leak from a year and a half ago. So roll in every 3 months, get a propane discount, get a dump station, have them check out my van. That's not bad. So I'm kind of impressed with Good Sam. I'll be honest. I'm way more impressed now than I was 5 hours ago. What do you think? More importantly, so that's kind of my deal on Good Sam. I'm giving it a big thumb up. Maybe you will too. Here we learn together, we share together, and you decide what's best for you. I'm pretty happy. I'm paid through I think 2023 at this point, because we looked that up. The campgrounds are really, they want your membership number, so they're really kind of sticklers on it. But so hopefully that helps you, and I really appreciate you asking the question. Let me zoom in his question here, right here. So Ken, so this is our question of the week. They come from comments and questions in the chat on YouTube, or if you want to send an email specifically, it's gsllviewerrecommendation at gmail.com. So thanks, Ken, for that. And we spent a fair amount of time on that, as we always do, because it's a big deal, right? I mean, look at what we learned. Free inspection, propane discount, free dump station. Man, what's not like about any of that? Holy cow. Okay. Moving for questions. Looking for questions. Let me see where I was. If you're getting anything out of this, sure appreciate a thumb up. That helps others find it. YouTube shares it out more readily. And I'm scanning here. Bear with me. We talked about that. Here's Anthony. I'm looking. Here's North Jersey coming in. Hey, Sparks guy, what's going on? Here's Greg Thompson. Love your channel. Look forward to meeting you on the road sometime. Gretna, Florida. Hey, we'd love to meet you too. That's why we do these roundups where we get together for a few hours, caravan, drive from point to point together, or do an overnighter, a VANBOREE as I call them. So I was right. Larry, yes, President Ronald Reagan, Simi Valley. Man, that is worth a trip to Simi Valley to go see that museum. He was the first political figure that I had any sense about. As like a junior and senior in high school back then. So he'll always be very prominent in my brain because it connected to politics. Looking for, okay, there's that one. So Michael Clark here has a question. Hey Scott, where do you think you'll be next week on Route 66 adventure? I'm taking the week off. Would love to meet up with you. Get together. Let's see the Bandit and Lucky Dog. I think Bandit's the name of his van. Travato GL 2022. So right now I'm planning this out. We're definitely going to do one in Flagstaff. I'm going to be there September 6 and 7 and 8. So I'm going to be there for sure. And then my next big stop, I'm probably going to wait until I get to Santa Monica. Because the next stretches of Route 66 are pretty desolate, really long, many miles, and what we might do is try and stop in like San Bernardino and caravan to maybe Pasadena. I really don't want to try and have a bunch of vans keep up with each other in California traffic. It would give me all kinds of grief, and I'm getting wrinkles more faster than I need anyway. So definitely Flagstaff 7 or 8. And then stay tuned because I'm probably rolling into California that next week. So I'll have that posted within the next couple of days. So if you're wanting to drive to Flagstaff, man, come to Flagstaff. That's going to be awesome. I've never been there before, so I'm super excited. Great question. Oh, there he is. That is the right Chris. Oh, wow. Hey, dude. Thanks for the shout out. I'm Chris. Appreciate the support. Definitely look forward to learning from your experience. Yeah, I'd love to, sit down. Let's have a burger and a beer or just iced tea, whatever, however you roll, and love to help you see this. I mean, to me, so I recently quit my job. I think I told you that. Excuse me. And is by meeting the folks on the road, I'm understanding the impact, not only me, but YouTube, RVers, this whole experience, how it's changing their lives, bettering their marriage. I mean, all these things, the benefits are just off the charts cool. So if I can help accelerate a little bit of that for you, man, as a young guy, even if you only do it for a few years, I'm certain it will change the trajectory of your life, all for the good. So that is super great. Thanks for being in the audience tonight. Picked up a new subscriber in a parking lot at a National Historic Site, which I hope to go back to. My schedule's so crazy. So it's a good question here from Vanster. Tails, and at the bottom of the hour, we're going to roll into our next thing. So stay tuned. Let's see. Vanster wants to know, should one rely on towing services sometimes offered by the chassis manufacturer, like MBV? Is that Mercedes-Benz? Or is there advantage to separate service like Good Sam? Fortunately, I have not had to experience that with the van. Isn't that crazy? 80,000 miles almost. 2.5 years living in my van, and I've never had a flat tire. I've never had a breakdown on the road. I pass by them all the time, RVers, and it's always in the back of my mind. I should do a test run and just test a few systems, right? That would be a great video, number one, and a great learning before there's a crisis. That's one reason I don't drive at night, is in case there is a problem, I have all the daylight to figure it out. There's varying degrees, and some may agree or disagree with me. I would probably call my insurance company first. I pay for towing service. I know through CoachNet and some others, and Winnebago, your first year, you get a free roadside assistance. Now we know about Good Sam. I'd probably call them on my list, but I'd probably start with my insurance company first. They have a vested interest in making sure the asset, not so much me, but the asset is safe, than being on the side of the road. So I would probably call them first. I'm paying for it. It's just pennies on the policy, and they have a network of proven people, and they don't want their assets sitting there out there with me in it. So they're going to be post haste getting out there, and they're going to reimburse me up to a point, no questions asked. And then there's hotels that kick in. So that's probably the way I would roll first. But that is a good point. I'm going to write that down on my card, because tire and roadside, because we should actually learn about that together, and I do not want to learn about that in real time. Even a flat tire, let's just get that glue kit out and see what that bad boy consists of, right? So hopefully that helps. That's the way I would roll. Let's see. Great question. AAA, I just saw that. Anthony, I see your question. Let's see. Michael Clark's got a question here. Good Sam versus AAA, which is better? Good video idea. Yeah, I agree. Again, I've never used AAA either. Back in the day, they used to plan your trips for you, give you a whole bunch of paper, right? They don't really do that too much anymore. I'm probably not going to sign up for yet another program, so I'm going to stick with what I have unless there's some really compelling reason. Maybe if AAA will do the route planning for me and then send me stuff digitally, now that might be worth something looking into, writing that down too, because I can't tell you how much time I take, and especially if we try and do event planning, for the channel. I'm spending hours a week around this stuff, and if they're providing that, that's worth it to me. Maybe not to you. You guys roll differently sometimes, but maybe somebody can chime in here. Great question. I love this train of thought tonight. You folks always amaze me, and I shouldn't be amazed because you're all so awesome. Let's see. Bear with me. I just lost it. Yeah, this is a good point. Larry mentions about California. So many of you know I don't really roll into national forests a whole lot. They're hard to get into, number one. National forest campgrounds. They're hard to get into, really restrictive on the cancellation fees. They're not a great deal, in my opinion, in a lot of ways. You see nature, that's cool, maybe a day pass. But, the smoke thing right now is just a killer in a lot of these places. So it's just not on my list to start with, but... That's a good point. Let's see, searching. We're going to do our next thing here in just a minute. Bottom of the hour. I like to have these things more time, so if you're coming in for a specific thing. RV News headlines next, and this one's actually pretty interesting. Speaking of national parks, holy cow. It's just so crazy. In one way, it's awesome. Roads of Life. Look at this, using the format. Thank you, Robert. There are RV resorts, Harvest Host, Boondockers Welcome, Passport America, annual passes for Nate and Sash. Any worth the money? That is a juicy, beautiful question. I would say in that list, Harvest Host, a steal. Boondockers Welcome is an absolute steal. I'm actually staying at a Boondockers Welcome site tonight. In suburban Albuquerque. And Joyce, if you're watching, hello from your driveway. Look how cute this is. She brought me tomatoes, not just one or two, but a whole sack full. Don't you love RVers? She has her Winnebago parked out front. She's got like a view or something like that. The Avion maybe. So you should not, in my opinion, be an RVer without buying into both of those programs. Now they're owned by the same company. Boondockers Welcome is like $40 a year. I mean, really. And you're on private property. Someplace you can stay up to 5 days. Here, Joyce can allow, I think it's 2 or 3 days. I think 2 days. And I'm staying tonight and tomorrow night for no charge because I'm fully self-contained. And Harvest Host, great program. It's on commercial property. It's a business, so they expect you to go partake in the business. So in that sense, it's not free, but it's free overnight camping. In both cases, you really should be self-contained, in my opinion. A lot of places don't allow generators because they're noisy in a lot of places. If you're one of the silent ones lately, maybe you should do a test drive with your host and see if that's okay, but the old ones are so noisy. So those would be a must-have. Passport America, I did buy into that. It's a pretty good program. A lot of RV resorts, not KOAs, but private campgrounds. You get 50% off for 1 or 2 nights off-peak season. So I think I signed up for a 3 or 4 year deal for like $300, $400, something like that. I've used it a few times. I just don't have time to read through all the fine print. So I'm kind of either, the way I roll, we've talked about this, is I roll through Harvest Host, then Boondockers Welcome for 3, 4, 5 days, 3 or 4 days, and then I do a KOA or a similar commercial park to do my tank duty, just chill, not move, plug in, let everything just kind of rebalance, do laundry, get some Wi-Fi, hopefully. So give my Verizon Jetpack a rest because it's been working overtime. Really crappy Wi-Fi lately. And so I probably would not renew Passport America again because I just haven't utilized it. I just found a different way to roll. National parks, they have their America Pass. It's $80, and if you want to get into national parks even for the day, you still pay a fee. So if you're likely to go into national parks to camp for sure, or certainly for a day pass, probably not a bad deal. I'm really not going out of my way to go to national parks. If they're kind of on my trajectory, I'm trying to partake. State parks, a little different. If you're in a state for a while, like Texas, I think it's like $40 for a Texas State Park pass. And I stay in Texas parks a lot because it's really big and they're really great parks. It's a really good system, online system. I was a little miffed in Michigan, to be honest. They had the same deal. You had to buy a sticker to get in, so the same kind of pass, right? In Michigan, but if you're only staying for a couple of nights at a Michigan State Park, you can chalk that up for basically another night's fee. So you really need to kind of do your homework on how long in that state are you going to be staying and or returning to in a 12-month period. So I'd say worth the money. Harvest Host, Boondockers, absolutely. Passport America, depends on how you want to roll. The places they have are actually pretty nice places. I've been pretty impressed. Big RV sites, limited number of days. Again, you only get the 50% off for 1 or 2 nights. Off season being the key. National state parks, your mileage may vary. Great question. Thanks for asking. And by the way, what I did is I wrote down the clubs that I belong to. Costco. We've talked about that on this channel a lot. Why Costco? You can actually get quite a bit of stuff in Costco and pack it in the van. They have an amazing whiskey collection, just the spirits. Gasoline is a primary driver on my Costco. You get 4% back on gasoline everywhere. It's just amazing. KOA, we've talked about that. That is not a membership. It's a private commercial campground. It's my go-to one just because they have an app that is really easy to find, make a reservation. As KOA, the rewards club, I get 10% off every night I stay. I've got close to 200,000 points now. I can stay for just about 2 weeks for free at KOAs now. And September 10th or 11th, I need to look this up now that I think about it. Members actually get the KOA reward free camping for the night. Thank you. So I need to look that up. That reminds me. Talk about Passport America and Good Sam. So great questions. There was another one up here. So let me share this with you quick, and then we'll look at some more questions. The time is flying by. Look at this. It's 30. Man, my allergies. I can't read anything. 110 people tonight. Thank you. So this is important. You can tell when I'm on the road lately because my Instagram, I'm blowing you up with Instagram stuff. Cool stuff. I hope you find it interesting. Just go to Instagram, search Go Small, Live Large, subscribe. We're over 1,000 people now, which is pretty amazing. Subscribe to the channel, of course. Van tours. Ladies and gentlemen, I hit a gold mine today at La Mesa RV in Albuquerque. 5 van tours I recorded today. That's why I look like I do. And one of the vans I had never seen before in real life. It's by Thor. It was a Tranquility. It might be a Revel Killer. We will not talk about it next week. I'm going to save it for the tour. We're going to try and put the video out tomorrow. Wait till you see this van. Revel folks better be nervous. It was super great. Anyway, that was way off topic. Subscribe to the email newsletter. I don't sell it. I don't share it. I can barely keep up with it myself. And 2 newsletters a week. You're going to see stuff there you don't see on YouTube. And I want to give a shout out to Steve P. in Cedar Key, Florida, for helping me with that. He's just my godsend, my business mentor that's helped keep me drive all this. That's allowed me to quit my job. This being Wednesday, this is my last week of corporate life after 35 years, 33 years. I passed my last corporate Monday morning ever. I'm going to be a truck driver before I go back to corporate world. And that happened this last Monday. And Friday is my last day at corporate America. So thank you, Steve. And thank you to each of every one of you for driving me forward and allowing me to do this. And not being a total starving YouTuber. So that's the point there. So let me share with you the RV news headlines because we're talking about national parks. This is pretty crazy. I'll zoom in for you. And Yellowstone, this comes from our friends at RVnews.com. This link will be on my website later today, or you can just Google it real fast. Yellowstone registers busiest month in history. This being July, the month. Look at that. 1,080,000 people rolled through the gates. And look at that photo that accompanies the news. I can't imagine how people are getting around Yellowstone. I actually overheard a conversation at an RV park just a couple of days ago. They actually were going into Yellowstone and they turned around and left because it was so packed. Excuse me. And look at this, a 16% increase. This is just Yellowstone, ladies and gentlemen. Just Yellowstone, 16% increase, July 19 over 2021. And 16% increase. It's people are getting outdoors and they're enjoying the nature, which I am all for. Man, I'm telling you, being close to nature in an RV is nothing like being in a house. But that is an insane picture of folks running around. So if you want to go to Yellowstone, my advice would be book early for next year because it looks like a zoo on steroids. Oh my gosh. You ever been to Yellowstone? I would love to go to Yellowstone. People say you want to go to Alaska. I want to go to Yellowstone. To see all the bubbling cauldrons and the mud pots and the geysers. We went as little kids, so I have some vague memories, but I would love to go back. All right, so let's see some other questions, and let me get going here. So, well, we've got some great questions. I'm going to run out of time tonight. Thank you for using the formats. It really helps me find. Wow, lots of questions. We might have to go overtime. Hang in there, folks. A lot of great questions. So we talked about the rely on, and okay, bear with me. This software should have a system that highlights things by certain things. So Barbara's got a question here related to technology, and the question is, do you mostly use your iPad for work and videos? Waiting for the delivery of my Nova, trying to plan. Thanks for Lakeland, Florida, home base. I use my iPad for 85% of everything I do now. Certainly exiting the corporate world. I just prefer my iPad. iPad OS, iOS, to me, I used to work at Apple for over a decade. The Mac is not nearly as smart as the more contemporary operating systems, iOS and iPad OS. So it's my platform of choice for that reason. I use it for everything except the StreamYards. Chrome has to run on a Mac. Essentially, I can't do it from my iPad. And I'm learning how to edit on my iPad in LumaFusion. A little bit of a learning curve, so I'm still using iMovie on my Mac for video editing. But I literally live and die. I pick up my iPad before I pick up my iPhone, if that tells you anything. This is my camera of choice. This thing's an amazing device. You should see, we've talked about this on previous What's Up Wednesdays. I jettisoned thousands of dollars of gear, heavy, complicated, camera gear. This is just the best thing, and then my iPad. So, yeah, I do everything on that. Super excited for your Nova. We've got the Nova video tour with Nick, GM, General Manager at Coachman, coming up, so stay tuned for that. Thanks for that question. Great. We should do a video around the technology, not just the Wi-Fi, but if you're trying to get organized, you want to take a trip, I think there's a time to do that video again. We did some of these way back when. Yeah, Michael Clark wants to know about, hey Scott, I know you did a video of colored mood lights. That was a long time ago. But can you share where you got them? And I would love to add them to my GL. Yeah, I'm really a big fan of mood lighting. That's why I've kind of stopped the street camping a little bit, because street camping, it's all lights out. Boondockers welcome, harvest hosts, RV parks, campgrounds, places where you're expected to be. Man, I light my van up at night. And I will do a video, because it really changes the mood in your van to your mood. If you like to have a glass of wine or some tea at night and you're just kind of chilling out, these lights, some RVs, not the Winnebagos that I'm familiar with, like the Travatos, non-dimmable, on or off, and they're just garish lights. So by changing some of the moods and adding mood lighting, really helps me at night in particular. So we'll do a video on that. Great coin. Look at this, mood lighting. Mood lighting, super chat. I love how Traveling Robert does that. Super chat. When people pay him money. We're not doing that yet. I need to come up with something than that. He's already got that one nailed. Let's see. So, yeah, Anthony. I'm kind of reconnecting with my Catholic heritage. I'm going into these churches. And that's one, I don't want to get into a religious conversation here, but there's something, for me, tangible about Catholicism, because you can see, touch, smell, taste the Spirit, right? And these churches I'm rolling into, so I'm kind of reconnecting. Actually got a St. Anthony medal going, and I got my pocket saint on Anthony. Let me spin this really fast. Is it going to show up? No, because the light's in the way. Hold on. So this crucifix right here, huge story. This is the pocket saint. This is St. Anthony that I found at, are you ready for this, of all places? Yeah, the KOA in Albuquerque. I've been looking for that. Had to happen. So yeah, Anthony, I'm reconnecting with Anthony a lot. Well, that's way off topic. Kathmandu, regarding Good Sam, heard conflicting information on whether they'll provide roadside assistance to vans, particularly if not an RVA van. Haven't experienced it myself. I haven't heard any negative stories. I've heard, we've all heard stories about Camping World. Everybody's got a horror story about something, right? We'll kind of dig into that. I'm a thumb up on Good Sam because of extra benefits that I would use. Dump station for free at a Camping World. Enough said. I mean, seriously. And we're trying to off topic. Wow, a lot of Anthony relations in this. That's so great. So Sherry's got a good question here. How are we doing on time? 15 minutes. Sherry wants to know, did you get an aftermarket tire pressure monitoring system on your ProMaster? If so, what brand? I did not. I had thought about it. My tire pressure monitoring system is broken once, replaced, broken again. I haven't bothered with it. I just look at the, I measure the tires. When I roll into a Costco, they fill up the tire for me for free, which is awesome. They do all the work. Some of them, though, I've seen lately, it's self-service with a really cool system. The same system they use, just plug it in and you dial in what the PSI should be, and it pumps up and you're in and out. It's actually better than waiting. So I'm glad to see those do-it-yourself, tire pressure kiosks. So should I get one? I probably should. I don't know. We need to do some homework on that. Maybe some of you have one. Probably Roger out there in his space shuttle roaming around has one. Yeah, we kind of addressed this last week a little bit, live, work, live, but it's just, so the question is, with your full-time focus, no more job, which is amazing. It still hasn't really hit me yet. What changes do you expect to be making? Different types of content, more content, exciting to see what's next. Yeah, I'm super excited too. More content for sure, more travel stuff, more shortened. I had a really big epiphany in Santa Fe on how to make the travel videos more concise, more interesting, and you will laugh at what I came up with, and that is, I can't demo because they're way over there, but so when I'm filming you as part of the object, I'm actually taking a sticky note with notes on it, and I'm sticking it to my camera, and I'm kind of reading like notes, right? Like a teleprompter, and I can't tell you how much more interesting that is already to give you some really good information really quickly. So yes, to answer your question, more content. I'm really going to try and amp that up. More events. More work with my brands. So I'm the Volta brand ambassador, so more work with those folks. More work with Embassy RV. They've been wanting to do more stuff for a while. I was just time starved. So you'll see all of that, and hopefully I'll get to the gym a little bit more. I've reset my clock. I'm not getting up at 6 o'clock anymore. I'm getting up at 7 o'clock. That's actually pretty cool. Think of the last time, you retirees will know what I'm talking about. The last time you have to say goodbye to the Monday morning alarm clock. Unless I want to get up at 6 a.m. There's a big difference, ladies and gentlemen, between wanting and having to do something, right? Let's see. So Robin has a question here. Have you ever been to Idlewild, California? Nope, never heard of it. Don't know anything about it. And California, I have a spot. Anyway, we're rolling to California. Pretty excited. So with that off, let's see. How are we doing on time? Ooh, let's see. So James wants to know here, so we talked a couple weeks back on What's Up Wednesday. Have you made a decision on RV training class or classes? Still kicking around the idea. I got a lot of feedback. Got some really negative feedback. I was a little surprised. I like learning with hands-on. I mean, you can watch how to fly an airplane on YouTube from your armchair, but until you get into the cockpit and you fire up the propeller and you feel it and you're actually trying to get off the ground, you're really not learning how to be a pilot, in my opinion. You have a better idea. And but we're thinking about it. I want to do it right. I want to do it so it's adding a lot of value. The purpose is to shorten the learning curve. I brought up a couple of folks that I've ran into in the wild out here that are brand new to the RVing experience, and they suffer. They were suffering, and we helped them, me and Ginger Walkabout. In the one case, me alone, and the lady had a brand new stunning Galleria, didn't know how to plug it into shore power. Because when you roll into your show out, your walkthrough, whatever you want to call it, with your RV dealer, they spend maybe 2 hours with you. Some of them limit to an hour. And it's like, and you're, bye, have a nice RVing experience. And you're like so overwhelmed, you don't even know where the ignition is for the chassis, right? Let alone, how do you change the max branch amps in your Volta system so you're not tripping breakers? Not even covered. So I think those kind of things are valuable. And if you have the means to spend the money and the time, it'll significantly, I think, shorten your learning curve. And as importantly, increase your enjoyment of your van. And that's why I was thinking about doing it. We'll see. I don't know. It's a big project. I've got other projects ahead, so I'd love to try and do it in November, but we'll just, it's only 6 weeks away, basically 10 weeks away. So we'll see. Give me your feedback. If there's no market for it, if people are going to spend a few $100s and you know, overnight and a weekend, then I'm not going to do it, because I need to pay for the program, pay for all the stuff, and pay for my time getting the expertise transferred. But if there's no market for it, the fact that nobody else is doing it kind of gives me a clue nobody would pay for it. I don't know. I would. I want to get my van. I want to go, but I want to learn how to do it the right way, not spend 6 months and thousands of dollars learning how to do it, even though I've watched a million hours of YouTube. So Kathy's got an interesting question here. Do you store food in the upper cabinets? Ever anything goes spoiled by the heat? Yeah, heat in the cabinets is a problem. It will be honest. My fresh food is in the fridge, obviously. Canned goods, a very limited amount of canned goods on purpose. I go to the grocery store about every 3 or 4 days, not weeks, so I don't need a pantry full of contents. My dry goods, my snacks, stuff go up in the cabinets over above. Dishes now, we're going to make a video about that. But I don't really let things get spoiled, because I'm not stocking up. I buy it, I consume it, I go back and I buy it. And I think a lot of people load up their vans or RVs as if they were going off into the wilderness for a few weeks or months, never to see a grocery store. And unless you're like, I don't know, in the middle of nowhere, somewhere, Wyoming or Nevada, there's a grocery store usually within 30 minutes of you. So I would kind of flip that around. Store food, yes. Dry goods, generally. My liquor cabinet's up there, and the heat's not really good for that. And I don't let it get spoiled in the heat, because it's not really up there, and I go through it so fast it turns just like my fresh water every week. So that's how I roll with that. So let me see here. How are we doing on time? 8 minutes left. This hour goes so fast. I don't know how it goes so fast. Some hours drag forever, and this one just flies by. So here we can help you out. Keep the questions coming. We got some other good stuff coming. Good questions on the thing. So this is where I do my reach out to you to help us out. And so if you know van builders in your area, please send me the email, gslllviewerrecommendation@gmail.com. I need to connect with more van builders, and they're really skittish to connect with me. I don't understand. I reach out to them and hear nothing. Proof point. The video we did of the Chinook Bayside at a dealer lot in St. Louis, it's been viewed 50,000 times. You think these people that want a little exposure for free would call me back, return my email? Don't know why they don't. Maybe they have so much business they can't take on anything more, in which case I get it. But at least expose us to your brand, man, and your passion, or lady, right? So if you know van builders, that's my point there. Hit me up. Spread the word about Go Small, Live Large. Bring a friend to a roundup or something like that. If you're trying to sell the RV idea to some of your friends and family, a bunch of naysayers, hey, let me help you make that bridge, so they're not thinking you're the big kook in that family. They can meet another kook. Again, host sites for campouts. I'm really serious with looking for those. Some of you had reached out. Thank you. Behind the scenes tours. You've got something really cool. Hey, if you're a manufacturer, something really cool, certainly if it's related to RVing, or distilleries or food production, anything that's really kind of unusual, I'd love to know about that. And then, of course, we just love our audience angels. They're the ones that invite me to stay in their driveway. Many of you have done that, and I really, really appreciate that. So thank you. You can help us out. And we have our viewer song of the week. We got some really great questions coming in. Let me get through a few more of these, and we might go a few minutes over tonight. I hear Sherry giving congrats on the last corporate day. Yeah, I'm so excited. I actually have a Volta training on Friday. It's just a miracle how things work. Never ceases to amaze me. Scott and Anthony, are you going to Death Valley anytime soon? I don't think Route 66 passes through it, and the faster I can get out of the heat, the more excited I'm going to be. So I am not going through Death Valley unless it's on Route 66 this go around. Just the thought of Death Valley scares me, so I don't know. It'd have to be during the year when it's cool. I would not be going there anytime when it's hot. I've learned my lesson on vanning in the heat, and my rig is not nearly as insulated as most of them out there. They're being delivered today. So let's see. Oh, thank you. Appreciate that. Love getting the love. Appreciate that. And here's appreciate the insight, time, and advice. You're welcome. This is what we do. This is kind of interesting. So Vandemic wants to know, have you considered renting the other coach you just bought, considering rideshare insurance for that purpose? So I think what you're referring to, sir, is, so Kyle's got an RV. It's a B+, C-. That's a Regency RV. It's a big box on a Sprinter chassis with a big bed in the back, basically, which is the way he likes to roll. He treats it like a one-bedroom apartment parked in his parents' driveway. He's thinking about this, but he's got some other things on his agenda right now. So, not looking at that right away. Great question. Scanning here. Here's Roads of Life. We've already talked about that. Yeah, I was kind of impressed. Again, thanks again, Ken, for bringing this up. You know, I don't know everything, that is for sure. I wouldn't know anything about these other good SAM services that makes that membership more valuable. I mean, propane discounts, and by the way, I'm going to empty my tanks and do a free check on my roof. What's not to like about that? Right? At no cost. So we talked about that. Wow, I'm really behind here. Talked about that. Bear with me. So here's one. So this is from Fair. How do you get mail or packages in van life? Beautiful question, and I really need to do a packages video. I have everything done electronically, with very, very few exceptions, and that mail goes back to home base, and Kyle, my partner, he processes it, and we deal with it as needed. But it's surprising, and this is one good thing. There's not many, but this is one good thing that came out of COVID. It forced the people not doing things online, both the providers of the content and the users of the content online, to get in gear 2021, do things online. So 90% or more of what I do online is, or those kind of things, mail, bills, all that kind of stuff, online. Packages are a little different. At some of the campgrounds, like I'm working with Volta right now to ship some of the material I use for training to the next KOA campground, which is going to be in Flagstaff. So most of those will accept packages now. During COVID, it was a little sketchy, I'll be honest. They didn't want to be a mail room with all kinds of, germs floating around. Most of them I have seen no problems in the last, year, really. The other way to get packages is to use Amazon lockers. And I've used those a few times, and they are really, really handy. So I need to do a video on that. Writing that down, Amazon locker. Because if you haven't experienced that coolness, you will be blown away at how awesome that is. The technology is so amazing. So thank you for that. Great question. So we have hit the bottom, I think. Let's see. So here's Janelle, ordered your Echo. Congratulations. So excited for you. That is just beautiful. I'm so happy. I think it will change your life. I hope it does. RVing's changed mine and so many others. Yeah, Sherry's kind of experiencing that now herself, and it's pretty amazing. All right, so I think let's just close out with the song of the week, and this comes from Michael C., a frequent commenter. I'll zoom in here for you. I love music. Van life has just made me a prolific consumer of music. This is by Gregory Alan Isokov. San Luis is the name of the song. Never heard of this guy. I like this style of music. It's kind of a folk music, acoustic guitar, really chill voice. I can see listening to this, doing some viewer comments with a glass of wine and my mood lighting. Listen to this cat. I listen to his all on Apple Music. There's an Essentials album. I listened to that Essentials album today, putting the show together tonight, and it's really amazing. So Michael, thank you for cluing us into this really amazing artist. There's so much good music out there. We always think of the big names, but to me the smaller names are where all the action is, In a lot of cases, they're that's a whole nother show. Let's see. I think up next we have Pet Pick of the Week. And look at this guy. This is Bailey. Live, work, live. Thank you for sharing this. You got your dog to wear glasses, which I need to start doing. I can hardly read this stuff. I think it's just my allergies. But thank you for submitting. Hey, we love to share Song of the Week, Viewer Recommendation of the Week, which I'm not sure we had this week, and Pet Pick of the Week. So the email address, please, is gslvviewerrecommendation@gmail.com. And we would love, let me zoom in here for you. This dog is just amazing. And I almost picked up a cat today. Isn't he handsome? Bailey? What a great looking dog. And we had VanLife Luke. He unfortunately died in March of 2021. Actively looking for another cat when we get to the right place. Certainly at the end of Route 66. Worked with Volta, training today at the La Mesa, Albuquerque location. They had 2 beautiful kittens. I was this close to pulling the trigger, ladies and gentlemen. But I've got to get through this Route 66 thing first. So, Pet Pick of the Week. Isn't that just the cutest thing? So send those in, and I think, is there one more question here? Remind you that next week we've got Matt Ellinger. He's the motorized district sales manager for the Southeast USA. Gracious enough to come on. So mark your calendars next week, September 8th. Matt's going to come on, answer your questions. I got some good questions for him too. Having now been in a bunch of different vans, Winnebago, lion's share of the Class B market, but there's a lot of players out there these days, so you don't want to miss that. And scanning for last questions. Going once. Going twice. Did I get everybody? If I didn't, I apologize. Having that format really helps. And so there we go. All right, folks. So that's it. We'll call it a wrap for tonight. Another What's Up Wednesday in the can. Thank you, each and every one of you. You drive me, you teach me, or you force me to learn, and then we share it together. That's what tonight was all about. The Good Sam. I'm giving that program a thumb up. I can't wait to use some of those services I had no idea about. So thank you, Ken, for bringing that to our attention. And until we see you next week, I wish you to journey on, stay safe, but take a calculated risk, because that's how things are driven forward.